We're live? Oh, should you send the link via DM? Which
Yes.
I believe means
Yeah.
direct message
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
in the language of
I'm going to do that. Because we're just getting started, right? So it's
Yeah.
not
We're just getting started.
it's not like real yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but it isn't. If you're watching on YouTube, it might be kind of real.
Good for them. Yeah, YouTube definitely posted the entire thing. I wound up cutting out like 9 minutes of my meandering ramblings.
But yeah, you can use that. I just put that into the DM.
Got it. I see it.
Both you and Nature Fish Lard tweet. I feel weird saying bitch and then my wife's name. I don't know. Feels weird.
Hey, you know what you do? Should I change it? I feel like if I change it.
No. I'm not suggesting that at all. I just when I like say the name out loud and I'm like, oh, Nature. It just.
Yeah, no, you're a classy gentleman. That's why you're very
Call
classy.
your wife a bitch. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, I said just stop her there. I'm just gonna stop her there.
I mean, unless you're in like a
Cer-
thing like playfully or something.
Certain. Well, you just went. Okay, I was just insinuating, but you went. Okay.
Yeah.
What's today's
Still
date?
bitch,
The
no.
18th, right?
I don't.
They're
yeah,
way out of hand.
It is the 18th, bitch. Alright, so I'm gonna do the rest
Hey, I
of the
just
night.
posted that picture. That's so funny.
You did? Now it's like huge on my screen. There it is.
It's really big. I didn't intend it to be viewed on screen.
It's a nice picture because I like it.
I did filters on it because it's
Filters.
Twitter. I feel like on Twitter you can do more filters than Instagram.
I mean, look at my profile picture on Twitter. I that's so many
That's a
filters.
big
It's not
filter.
even me. It's a robot that doesn't look like me. Live, bitches.
You didn't write that.
Why not?
Are we in pre-show?
We are in pre-show.
Yeah, we're in
Okay,
pre-show.
good.
I mean, so what? You know, people.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm embracing it.
Live.
I'm
bitches.
embracing this
I hope
thing.
all of you enjoyed the 2 or 3 minutes that I was just on my cell phone promoting this.
I mean, that's what it's like. You know, you get an in-depth look at what it's like hanging out with Sarge, like he's on a cell phone. But I mean, that's everybody. these
Not
days,
all
right?
the time. Not all the time.
No, just you know.
I try to put it down when we play darts.
Yeah, well, yeah, because you can't.
Well,
you
for
just
safety
there's just
reasons.
no way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, because I don't want to accidentally throw my phone. You know.
go wrong hand. Wrong
That-
hand.
well, I
Ah.
mean, that only happened once. I mean, you brought it up. I promised never to tell anybody. But you just did. So.
Also, wrong hand is the name of my sex tape. Starting early tonight.
Wrong hand.
You know, a lot of
This is
people
working, right?
like to tout the sexual advantage of doing the stranger. And frankly, it just reminds me of summer camp. So I don't do that one.
Oh,
Of
dear
doing
Lord.
a stranger, like in general, like the whole
No,
concept?
they
No,
don't
doing
do-
the stranger.
the
You know what
stranger,
a stranger
that's
is,
right.
right? So we sit on your left hand.
Oh.
You sit on your non-dominant hand, and then you flog the dolphin.
Yeah. Okay.
You buff the
Alright.
musket.
I mean, you attempt to anyway, I guess, because like it's dead. at that
You don't know if you're doing it right. It's hard to tell if you're holding too tightly or not.
Okay.
That's a good way. If you want a friction burn, that's a good way to get one.
Yeah.
On the YouTube, we got Razor Blade says Saj.
Razor blade.
I had to look at it quick. I'm like Razaya. Oh no, Razor.
Reading is difficult.
Well, no, but he spelled it. This could be a woman too. I don't know.
Hey, Justin.
RAYZAHBLAYD. Razor Blade.
And then Telemundo Kevin. He and I
he
actually
there?
have very lively conversations about action figures.
Really?
Yeah, he's got an immaculate collection. He's shown me some pictures, and I'm very impressed.
Is he there right now?
Yeah, he's in
Hi.
the comments. Hey, buddy.
I like him.
Yes. I'm glad that he's no longer
I
Telemundo
like him.
Jordan. I'm glad that
He says he'll be so happy
Thank
when his
you.
damn headphones come.
Oh, I need
You
to
gotta
guys-
send us a picture, bro. We need to see your new
Maynard
headphones.
needs to get me new headphones too because these are uncomfortable. That's what she said. What?
did.
No.
What?
So I got my hair done. We're in pre-show, right? So I can say this story.
Your hair
This is-
looks gorgeous, by the way.
So I
It's
know.
phenomenal,
it's,
right?
hold
Look
on.
at this.
Beautiful.
Everyone, look at Laura's hair right now.
So, yeah. So I don't have. I can't hear anything right now, but so I have my hair done, and it's very rare. My hairdresser is, like many hairdressers, she just talks the whole time, and I'm an introvert, so I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So she started telling me this story about when she first started out, and I don't know how we got to this point, but it was a fellow hairdresser of hers whose customer left his wife. He was in the chair, like getting his hair cut, left his wife because he caught his wife cheating on him
Okay.
with
that's
a
fair.
horse. With a horse.
Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
So
It's a deal
crying
breaker.
in the hairdresser chair
You
because his
can't.
wife fucked a horse. And
You
I'm like,
can't. You
So-
can't come back from that.
So I
mean,
had my hair cut like at 10 o'clock this morning, and I'm still not over it because I'm trying to
no,
figure
sir,
out.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I wish
It's
I
a-
had
So
this.
that's
I
the
was
mental
ready.
place I'm in now. So I'm hoping this podcast gets
So-
us past that.
I have many
I-
questions.
I did too.
I
and I'm
don't.
still.
I almost need to know if there was penetration involved. Like I'm just,
So.
but I don't actually want to know.
Exactly.
Like
exactly.
Like part of me is like, did they fuck or was it just like foreplay? Like the horse was kind of
Well, and
nuzzly,
that's-
she fed it a carrot.
Like maybe she was one of the, those people that really
Ended
like
up being like
horses,
that scene in-
when
Yeah.
they get like those little glass horse like ornaments
I was
on
just having this conversation with someone. We were talking about horse people.
Yeah, and I think she might have been, but it was one of those stories where you want to, in your mind you're like, how did this happen, like logistically? But you're like, I don't want to picture it, but how did it happen? But I don't.
Well,
want to
there was
picture
a
it.
guy-
It's
You
like a
see
car
Freddie get
accident.
fingered?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
There was actually a very serious video out there back when like Consumption Junction was a thing.
Oh my god!
And steak
Oh,
and
wow.
what is it, steakandcheese.com or something?
Steak and cheese and style project. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Oh, I
Those
missed
are the
all
It's
days.
so I believe the video was known as Mr. Hands.
Ah, Jesus.
And it was a guy who was getting penetrated by a horse. And the horse perforated his bowel. And because he didn't seek medical treatment, because he was getting jammed up by Mr. Ed, he died. He passed away.
So I'm a very open-minded person,
Except for
general.
horses.
but the place I draw the line is interspecies.
Yeah, no, horses can't consent.
But I don't think that I'm a bad person for believing that interspecies stuff is wrong.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Anything else within the species, I
The
don't
only
care.
thing that I would give you like a partial credit on is if a dolphin initiated.
Oh, dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
they know what's
They're better
what's
than
up.
some people.
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't want to fuck a dolphin. I don't find them attractive. It's the same reason I didn't find Mina Savari
But it's like,
attractive.
is it MTG or a dolphin?
So much of a forehead, you know. It's a big forehead.
You know?
Did you just compare Mina Subaru to a dolphin?
Just in the forehead.
Oh.
They both have very large foreheads.
Forehead comparisons.
Right?
Mm,
I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No, that's. Mhm.
She was great in American Beauty, though. I like.
She's a phenomenal actress. I'm just saying, she has a great deal of real estate above her eyebrows.
Yeah, I mean that's.
It's not a bad thing.
Who's the actress? The horse? Is it
Horses always say nay
Mr.
to
Ed?
consent.
Is
I
it-
love that.
Sarah?
I'm glad,
What
I'm
is
glad
it?
you can see the
I can't
comments.
see
Horses
it.
always say nay to consent. Perfect.
Oh, okay.
Bonsai Bean, that's a great name.
I love Bonsai
Oh.
Bean. Hey, Bonsai. Welcome to
Bonsai's
Live.
Bonsai!
Large foreheads are a thing. Have you
Jesus.
seen my forehead?
Oh, come on, Karate Kid 3, remember?
I know
Bonsai!
Karate Kid. I'm a big fan of that.
Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
What time is it?
It's 9:15.
Oh,
so-
it's time to start the show.
So we
For
should
real?
start the real.
Yeah, we're gonna
we should
we're
start
gonna
the
do
real
it.
thing.
We're gonna
Okay.
start the show. I'm very
Now-
excited about tonight's episode.
You know I'm gonna screw up the order of all this stuff because like
Well, yeah, there's a lot of
everything
shit.
just keeps on like piling up in the stream, and I was like, I don't know where anything is like this thing. Oh yeah, slap it on there. We're
Slap
starting
it.
the show with that. Yeah.
Sticky slaps.
Just get on the. All right, so I'm gonna put the intro thing on there, and then we're just gonna
go live.
we're just gonna hope for the best.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
We'll do it live. All right, we'll do it live.
Ooh. There was a voice there for a second. Now I got a good audio cue for when I cut it in.
Hey,
Oh, hello. I
we
didn't see you
there?
there.
hey, we're gonna pretend.
We're going to pretend that the pre-show was just for paying fans, but we're not good enough to have those yet. We have 5 of them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I need a better soundboard program. If anybody has a good one, let me know.
Hello, and welcome to the Citizen's Guide to the Supernormal. This is a podcast / live stream dedicated to all things sticky, stupid, and uncomfortable. Like the gazpacho police. Can I just say you have to be like a special kind of dumb to think that Gestapo and gazpacho are close words.
Yeah, they're not even close.
They start with a G and end with an O, and the similarities end there.
But no, well,
It's like
both
it's
of them
like
I don't
guessing.
want in my life.
I don't want
I don't want either in my life.
really.
Yeah.
Isn't gazpacho cold? It's supposed to be served
Yeah,
cold.
cold
It's a
soup is. That's like fruit and salads. I don't like fruit and salads.
Look,
like
if you're
strawberries.
gonna drink a
I don't
cold,
want cold
soup,
soup.
why don't you just get a fucking V8 at
I
that
want
point?
stale crackers.
Yeah, ew.
I don't
Yeah.
want moldy bread. I don't
It's
want cold
gross
soup.
too.
It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. I'm Sarge the Destroyer. This, of course, is Maynard.
Hi.
And then we have Nature Bitch Laura,
Hello.
just dropping fucking nature bombs on us everywhere she goes.
Got some nature right here.
You want to find us on Twitter? If you want to find us on Twitter, honestly, just Google Nature Bitch Laura, Maynard Rules, and Sarge the Destroyer. No one has chosen those names, so
Ever.
there's only one of each of us.
How's that level sound? You think we sound good?
I think we sound good.
Yeah?
I think we're good.
I see some green on the recording program, so that means good, right? Dude, it's a
Yeah.
Friday. We've all had some drinks, so.
Yeah, listen,
I
hit
got
up
you, man.
my Twitter if you want to support the show. We've got a Patreon.
Well, we gotta make that a thing again.
We could use some money because running the show is actually more expensive than you think.
Yeah.
By expensive, I mean more money than I have in my pocket right now, which is 0. So, all right, but I'm gonna stop begging for money now. Do you guys know what we're gonna talk about tonight?
Money?
No, we're not gonna talk about money.
Okay.
Well, I guess we're gonna talk about things that involve money, but in a very racist sort of way,
Yeah, no,
according
wait,
to
what
some
about?
conservative fellows.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I think we all know where I'm going with this. So I've been on a conspiracy theory kick lately.
You have.
I'm a
No!
fan.
No!
Seriously?
Sarge, no!
And the thing is, I want to be clear because I don't want people out there to think I actually believe in conspiracy theories. But I do collect them because they're fucking stupid and
Well, they're
insane.
Interesting. It's
They're
like, how-
interesting.
How is this possible?
Some of them I
Yeah.
kind of wish were true because the reality is so much more depressing. But overall, no. I think they're all nonsense for the most part.
Agreed.
But I was looking up conspiracy theories and I was like, oh, I should find a cool conspiracy theory for the show tonight.
Oh, sorry.
That's a conspiracy?
Wow.
Stapleface
Fresh.
said use the Arnold Schwarzenegger soundboard, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot about these.
That's a good-
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at all that. Wow.
Slatuma.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean-
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Yeah, you know, I mean, we try to keep the show to stuff we've done because I don't want to get sued or anything like that. But like, I don't know. Do you think like the scanners could be just find us and be like, right? I don't think so.
No, I
don't
I
think so.
don't think so either. So
I agree with you, Arnold.
all
I
right,
think you're
so
right.
We'll keep that one handy. But anyway,
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
yeah, this is a lot. I can't even
That's
find
a
that.
ton.
This is such a
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
expanded. That's what she said.
yeah. I have no idea. I have no idea. It
Arnold
sounds
just
like me
having an
after like
existential crisis
after
over
like
there.
40 beers and be like, if I'm not me, who the hell am I? Damn it.
What I do when I'm drunk is none of my business. All right.
All right, I'm closing that window.
Okay.
Please.
This is gonna get out of control soon.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I thought we would start with a really simple question. What do you guys use as a definition for conspiracy theory? Like in your head, how do you define the term? And I tried to make that sound, unintentionally, of course, but I tried to make it sound far more intellectual than what actually fell out of my mouth. Which is a pretty typical thing for me.
For me, it's something that just sounds too far-fetched to be true that a lot of people believe is actually true.
Like Eli Manning winning 2 Super Bowls.
No, that happened.
I know, but he looks like he should be licking
No,
paint.
like there was a conspiracy theory that like Stevie Wonder isn't actually blind, and like people were like putting out like videos of him like
I
looking.
feel
It
like-
doesn't make any
but
sense.
it's like that's just an example.
It's-
But it's like
Yeah, no, you're right. But in honestly, like that's a good call. Laura, what do you got?
It's for me. It's like it's something that potentially happened in secret that nobody knew about that was discovered. So it's something that's supposed to be secretive that was let out, that was leaked. So there's that whole potential of something being leaked. I
Yeah,
feel.
And I think
there's
it's-
always
I
like
think it's actually really
celebrities or
interesting.
high up people involved. There's
Yeah,
always like
of
some
course.
sort of like big figure, big players that make it even more bigger.
yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting that you mentioned secrecy, because I went down a rabbit hole.
oh dear.
Oh god.
But I went down like a college rabbit hole, so it wasn't like a. I just started looking up
I haven't gone a college rabbit hole once.
scholarly articles on this concept. And under the Association for Psychological Science, APS, it's a journal. This is a free article.
It's a free article, kid.
It's in a
It's a
journal.
free fucking article, guy. Dude, it's a psychological article that's free. You never find that. So it's written by Jan Willem van, not going to say that word, and Mark van, other word. It was it was published in the Journal for Association for Psychological Science.
Okay.
And naturally, as you can imagine, they're not local folks, based on the impronounceability of their names. They're from the Netherlands. But what they were trying to do was figure out what is it in our brains that makes us morons when it comes to conspiracy theories. Because let's be honest, we've all been wrapped up in a conspiracy theory. We've all gone down a rabbit hole or two at some point in our lives.
So it's got to be something that you find entertaining, that you kind of want to
Yeah.
believe,
Yeah.
but deep
Yeah.
down you know is
Well,
bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the whole moon base one that we just did. Like the moon
Yeah.
base on the other side of the moon. I really want that to happen.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing,
But
though.
I know it's not true.
I think Maynard said something that should be addressed. So he said, deep down, you know it's bullshit. I don't believe they do. I don't think deep
That's
down they
the
know it's
clincher.
bullshit. I think deep down
That's a clincher.
they
Yeah.
know it's, in their heart of hearts, they believe it's true. And here's why.
Okay.
So this article is really fascinating. It approaches conspiracy theories from a novel perspective. Because I've read a bunch of articles about conspiracy theories and why people believe them. And some of it is a mix of mental illness. And there's also a component of being part of a group. You know, you're part of an in-group and it makes you feel comfortable and supported. you know, maybe you're not an especially interesting person, and so believing in conspiracy theories kind of gives you that edge over the competition, if you know what I mean. It's sort of, you know something everybody else doesn't know. Like, they're like, ha ha ha, you
It elevates
stupid
you.
sheep. I've got all the fucking answers. But what it turns out
I'm on
is,
Facebook.
all of the answers came from your slow-witted uncle
Yep.
who lives in a cardboard box, not because he was down on his luck, but because he chooses to live off the grid, but also is a moron. So here's the thing. What this article that I found, and I absolutely love it, it's called Conspiracy Theories, Evolved Functions, and Psychological Mechanisms. And really what that is just kind of like a very weighty title for a scholarly article that was basically about all the shit that's wrong with your brain that makes you believe in this stuff. Oh, really?
Oh,
really? Yeah, believe it or not. So, I just wanted to, I highlighted a couple of pieces from this article. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about their theory because I think it's really fascinating and I definitely think it has legs. And naturally, I don't necessarily agree that everything in this article could be 100% true, but I think they're off to a good start. And I think that's really kind of what they were hoping for in their abstract, and then when you read the conclusion, they're like, this isn't 100% of why, but it's what started it. It's the nexus of where people's belief system and conspiracy theories come from. The reason people adhere to them is a different thing, and so I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to say this is why we create conspiracy theories, and I think that's what the heart of this article is about. So I just highlighted a couple of things. One thing I thought was interesting. I want you guys to guess the percentage of New Yorkers in 2004 who believe the U.S. government was complicit in the 9/11 terror attacks. If you get it wrong, you have to drink. Okay?
So
the percentage.
Can you repeat that?
What is the percentage of New Yorkers asked in 2004? Let me rephrase, because I'm an idiot. In 2004,
Yes.
New Yorkers were asked if the United States government was involved in 9/11. What percentage of them believed that the United States government was involved in 9/11?
73%.
Wow. Okay.
I was gonna say 60.
Wow. I was actually shocked that it was just as low as 49%. 49%. So if you got this wrong, you gotta have a drink. 49%. And to me, that seemed like a crazy amount. Like I would have been comfortable with 30%. But then I also remembered that some crazy figure, like I think it's 49% of Americans believe angels are real, so.
Well,
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
you're also asking like
you said
Bostonians
you
who
said New
all-
York. A lot of those people underwent trauma, and they're looking for somebody to blame.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have been. I'm not surprised that it's.
But you're also asking people from Boston who just hate New Yorkers.
That's true,
Care
that's
all,
true.
So we're gonna pretend they're all.
I don't hate New Yorkers, I just know
No.
they have
but
terrible
it's,
sports teams.
New
Okay.
Yorkers.
All right. So what I thought was interesting is in this article, and I think if you read a lot of these journals, like there's a lot of boilerplate that you have to get through, and a lot of like stuff they try to throw out there, but they essentially break down conspiracy theories to have 5 main ingredients. The first one is that people, objects, or events are interconnected. The second one is conspiracy theories stipulate that the plan of alleged conspirators are deliberate, so it wasn't an accident that they did what they did. The third one is conspiracy theory always involves a coalition or a group, so it's never like a lone gunman, you know.
Yes,
There's always a group. So and that was actually one that was the most interesting to me, the third one, because anytime we had these school shootings, 90% of the time it was a lone gunman, some wild dickhead.
Yeah.
But you get the false flag, like, oh man, there was a bigger part of it. On the fourth ingredient is they always contain an element of a threat. So conspiracy theories, no one ever has a conspiracy theory that like the United States government is going to give us cupcakes. You know, it's always some nefarious thing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Peanut butter frosting cupcakes.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're gonna take
And
your
then-
firstborn or something.
Yeah,
Give
they
you a
want to eat.
cupcake in return.
They want to eat your kids' adrenal gland,
Yeah.
not teach them to be smarter.
Episode something we did. I don't remember what episode.
I don't remember either. And then it always carries an element of secrecy. And so, well, my favorite part of the article is section 3, where it talks about, what did I say? The coalition. Section 3, to me, is like the most important. But, that was a bad idea. I like touched my chest to make a point, and I touched my raw tattoo.
Oh, your fresh
That hurts
tattoo?
so
Oh,
much.
Raw.
Yeah, right on my sternum. Good stuff. But number 5 is actually probably the most important to make a conspiracy theory work. Because anytime somebody says, well, how... anytime somebody says, like, how to, you know... Why do you, Uncle Jimmy, who lives in a refrigerator box outside of the Waldorf Astoria, why do you know this and no one else does? Well, it's secrecy. And that's why no one figured it out.
Because Uncle Jimmy's
It's all
smart
done in
everybody.
secret. You know?
So if there's a
you fucking sheep.
So if there's a secret element, it makes it more appealing.
Exactly.
Oh.
Because it's a secret. There's no way you're
Yeah,
going
be
to
like,
find
look,
out.
I figured this out. but
I
you-
figured it
you
out
guys are too dumb to figure it out because you're a bunch of sheep.
And so they feel like they've
Yeah.
elevated their intelligence. You know,
Yeah.
they've bettered themselves because they figured it out.
Exactly. I figured this out because it makes me smart. You couldn't figure this out because you're a dumb sheep. Yet Uncle Jimmy's shoes are tied together and there's poop in his pants.
Yeah.
So there's a couple more things that I thought were interesting, so I highlighted a few things.
Okay.
So what's great about this article is it talks about artifacts that are kind of left over in our minds from evolution. And it talks about 4 main ones that I almost did 5, but then I was like, no.
I was like, hide
The
your
thumb is
thumb,
not needed
Saj.
tonight. 4 main things that our minds do automatically as an evolutionary necessity for our species to survive. So the number 1 is pattern perception. And what this really is just the relationship between paranormal beliefs and illusory pattern perception occurs in the regular population samples.
You're using big words now.
No, well, that wasn't the right thing. I was just reading the wrong thing that I highlighted because I'm a fucking moron. Pattern recognition is actually one of those things that you do every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If-
it's routines. It's
Yeah.
stuff
Like,
that-
so a habit, essentially.
Well, yeah, but the problem with it, the sinister aspect of it is, you know, for pattern recognition to be successful as an evolutionary trait that our brains developed, you would hear the sound of wolves howling, and associate that with being eaten alive by wolves, so holy shit, I need to hide. If the wolves howl, they're probably going to try and come and eat us, right? Makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The problem is, sometimes we see patterns where there aren't any.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's kind of like circumstantial evidence.
Well, here's a great example. So, we, as a, how do I say this? So, Lee Harvey Oswald. We'll do some pattern recognition here. Lee Harvey Oswald was.
He's on. Let him.
So Lee Harvey Oswald was killed by Jack Ruby.
Yeah.
Lee Harvey Oswald killed an American president. He was captured, killed by Jack Ruby. The pattern that conspiracy theorists recognize, and you know what, I'll give you a little bit of leeway, that it is strange, but he was killed by Jack Ruby because Jack Ruby wanted to kill Lee Harvey Oswald. But in people's minds, it was he was killed because he was the only witness who could have given up the larger conspiracy, so that's why he died. So we found a pattern that, in all likelihood, probably doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one lone wolf who was killed by another lone wolf, and it just happened to happen within 3 days of the president being assassinated.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's pattern recognition, that right there, because Jack Ruby, he was like, I killed Lee Harvey Oswald so Jackie O didn't have to deal with a trial. That was his mindset. And Jack Ruby was insane. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say he was like some valiant
No,
hero.
any person who kills another person is insane.
Yeah, yeah. Or
Especially
Caitlyn
somebody-
Jenner, you know.
But
Oh, sorry, it was a car accident. Mistake.
like that, I don't know. If you go into
Oh, Laura Bush also killed someone. Go ahead.
so take Kennedy, but Lee Harvey Oswald, like they never did they really I don't know if I was rabbit hole, but did they really prove that it was him that shot Kennedy from the window?
I think, regardless of the information we have showing evidence in either direction, I think we can all agree that the last thing on earth the CIA is going to do is hire a strip club owner with no connection to any of this to kill a random assassin.
Well, I just didn't know.
Yeah.
What I'm asking is, did they ever actually prove that it was him who killed Kennedy?
I mean, there's
no,
a
I'm
lot
asking.
of,
I really don't know. I
There's a-
really
so-
don't know.
there's a lot of information out there. The very, oh God, we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. The very existence of our security apparatus breeds secrecy and difficult things to kind of understand. But the prevailing theory nowadays is that Lee Harvey Oswald, in part, tried to kill the president, but the best theory that I heard is that actually one of the Secret Service agents accidentally shot the president in the head.
That'd be so
interesting.
American.
Here's why, because I won't get into the whole thing. It's a big thing, and I
Sure,
am not
sure.
confident
And
with all the information.
We're not here for that. but-
I heard someone present this theory on another podcast, and they did a shitload of research, far more research than we have ever done. But basically, Secret Service agents had been issued M16s, and they were a fairly new weapon. People weren't necessarily comfortable with them just yet. The prevailing theory is after shots rang out, and the bullet entered, I think it was Kennedy's wrist, and then the governor or something like that. Anyway, long story short, the Secret Service agent jumped on the back of the Cadillac or whatever it was,
Yeah.
the convertible. And when he did that, he accidentally discharged the M16 and killed the president. We don't know. I mean, you're never going to know for sure. But the prevailing theory is that, it was a comedy of errors, not a secret plot.
Margot likes that we said Lee Harvey Oswald. Yes.
Oh,
What's up, Margot?
Hey, Margo.
what's wrong with that?
It's because
No,
I've
it's
been drinking.
That's
That's the
That's
problem.
accurate, kid.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. It's because I've been
Ah.
drinking.
That's how we say it.
So anyway, one of the things that was interesting about this is that this one you can somewhat overcome. So the relationship between paranormal beliefs and illusory pattern perception, paranormal beliefs being finding patterns where there are none, essentially, is that it's very high in the general population, but extremely low in the population of universities. And it's not due to intelligence, so I don't want anyone to think that, like, I'm trying to say college students are more intelligent than your average person. What I am trying to say is, and this is what the article says as well, is that people who go to college are just slightly more analytical. So they're gonna dig a little bit
school,
deeper.
and that's kind of what you're being trained to do with them.
Well, yeah, when you
right?
write an academic paper, you have to provide sources, and they have to be current sources, the most current sources you can find. But two, you can't just go with one source and say, okay, this is the truth. You have to find multiple sources. Which,
No,
you
can't just slap that on there like this. You can't do that. It's not gonna work. You can't do that.
There we go.
But your multiple sources are kind of
Yeah.
a way for you to vet your argument. And then, the academic paper, if it's going to be published, will go through a peer review process. So
Exactly.
college students just tend to be a little bit more skeptical, that's all.
Mhm.
And again, please, if you didn't go to college, I'm not saying shit about you, because frankly, I didn't go to college until almost 20 years after I graduated high school. So I'm not trying to attack it, I'm just saying,
I kind of wish I didn't, because I could have made more money, like if I learned
you
to be an
probably
electrician.
could have. You probably could have. But college does make you much more analytical.
Sure.
At least depending on your major, you know, if you're majoring in theology, you're probably not a super big into questioning authority and crazy beliefs. Anyway, tendency to perceive patterns is random or chaotic stimuli. So
We have 6 people listening right now concurrently on YouTube. So
Anyway.
say something. I want to know who you are.
the what I'm getting at here is this is kind of where people will try and find a pattern in a coin flip. Well, I flipped it 6 times and it came up tails.
Oh, yeah.
It's gotta come up heads now.
They just
And
want
then
that pattern.
Yeah, and then it
Yeah.
doesn't. But that's an evolutionary trait, because if we, like I mentioned, you know, you hear an animal, a predatory animal making its hunting call, you're gonna go fucking hide so you don't get eaten by a pack of wolves. Or,
Mhm,
you know, a
mhm,
T-Rex
yeah.
if you're a young Earth creationist, you fucking morons. Moving on, agency detection. What agency detection means is you're really just recognizing the underlying themes of why people do things. I can give you a great example of agency detection that's a very
Yeah,
New
please do.
England behavior. Or actually, probably New York too, I have to imagine. You're sitting on the subway, and someone comes up and starts talking to you. They want money, right? They're
Oh,
either
yeah.
panhandling,
Yeah.
trying to convert you to their religion,
Mm-hmm.
or they want you to buy some bullshit from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had an experience like this just recently. I was in Boston. I was on the train with someone who wasn't from Boston, and this random dickhead stranger started up a conversation with us, and I was very suspicious from the beginning, because no one talks to you on the train. The only people who talk to you on the train are people who aren't from New England.
Yeah, yeah.
Or anywhere
We don't
north
talk
of the
to each other.
Mason-Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
And this person started talking and going on and on and on, and then I was immediately rewarded for my beliefs when this moron started talking about like some multi-level marketing scheme they were involved in. I was like, no, I work in HR right now, I'm fine,
Cryptos.
thank you. Crypto, another great example. Somebody wants
Fucking cryptos.
Why haven't you bought all this crypto? Why haven't you know about my Dogecoin?
Why are you so stupid?
come on, guy, you got to invest in nipple coin. It's the next big thing. So anyway,
We should start Dogecoin.
Dogecoin, that'd be great. All right, and then the third one is threat management. For instance, people have an inborn fear of various dangerous animals, and that is actually built in our DNA. Human beings have an innate visceral reaction to snakes and spiders. We recognize those more than any other animal on Earth immediately.
What about horses?
I love snakes.
Not horses. Horse cocks, probably, because of the
Yes,
resemblance
that's-
to a large snake.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, because that scares me. So they're okay. Mm-hmm.
But one study reveals that snakes and spiders are more easily recognized and more effectively capture people's attention than flowers or mushrooms. What I found interesting is that they used that example in the article. I was like, so you were like, here are your choices. Is this a snack? It's like a,
Is it
a
a snack?
sunflower. Is this a spider? And it's like a shoe. Like, what were you showing
no,
these
it's
people?
a shoe, sorry.
But let's pretend that the study that they did was completely on the level. They showed people a bunch of pictures, and they were much more easy. It was much easier for them to recognize snakes and spiders because those are threats. Those are threats to our very existence. They could kill us immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Alliance detection.
Okay. I'm ready.
This one's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For people to detect conspiracies, therefore, they need to be able to detect a coalition of people who cooperate with one another.
Yeah.
Those goddamn liberals.
Yes.
The Democrats.
Democrats with an
Yeah,
R.
Democrats.
Democrats.
And frankly, when you really get down to it, the conservatives also. Like, people throw conservatives in this large fire.
Oh
and
yeah,
set,
no,
of
they
course,
throw
yeah, yeah.
everybody.
they throw them in a large
yeah.
pile and set fire to it like they're all the same.
Yeah, it's like, what, you have this thought, you must be one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's BS.
And so the thing is, you've got
Sorry.
fruits.
I'm like, sorry.
Like, wait
sorry.
a second.
I mean, let's be honest, we're all guilty of it. The only
Yeah, of
reason I
course.
wear a mask
No.
when I go anywhere is just because I don't want people to think I'd vote for Trump. So, the point I'm trying to make is,
libs.
yeah, right. We've covered the 4 things.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna skip because there's a lot going on here, and we're getting, we've been doing this for a little bit. If you want to read this article, and I strongly recommend you do, it's a little heavy. There's a lot of there's tables, and they talk about the experiment and everything else.
There's tables.
This-
It's a scientific report. It's a scientific report, yeah.
It's called Conspiracy Theories, Evolved Functions, and Psychological Mechanisms.
You just made it sound too smart for me, though.
It's
tables,
really,
there's
not-
a lot of small print.
I gotta give them credit. It's really captivating. It's
Yeah.
really well written. But the table, so the table had some requirements for people to, I don't know. I could just dig through this thing forever. I'm a fucking nerd. But ultimately what it came down to is in the conclusion, they said, we therefore conclude tentatively that the psychological mechanisms associated with conspiracy theories have been co-opted in a more specialized psychological adaptation that is part of the human coalitional mind. Essentially what they said in this article that kind of caught my attention, the whole reason that I found the article fascinating, is what they said in the article is that our brains evolved these mechanisms to survive. But much in the same way that dinosaurs evolved feathers to keep them warm, but then also managed to utilize those feathers on their evolutionary path so that they could eventually turn into birds and fly. Human beings had developed these mechanisms to protect ourselves from other tribes of humans. Large predators, volcanic eruptions, you hear rumbling, the ground rumbles, you see smoke coming out of a volcano. It's time to fucking run because it's not going to end well.
Yeah.
Those mechanisms evolved to do one job, but as we progressed and evolved as a species, that usefulness has been co-opted and has kind of become a negative thing in our evolution. And that's what I thought was really fascinating. I don't want to talk about the reason why people stick to conspiracy theories because that's a whole episode just by itself. But I thought it was really interesting as to how conspiracy theories are formed. And it really comes down to a whole host of things, but one of the things that makes conspiracy theories last so long and be so prevalent in our society is the fact that we're evolutionarily corrupt, essentially. Our brains have been co-opted by their own stupidity. And now we're stuck. So I thought, with the time that we have left, I would do a thought experiment.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Jeez. All right, hold on. Let me
You
get my
ready?
brain working. I got my
You
brain
ready?
working.
I brought a special surprise for us.
It's not pickle beer, is it?
No, I learned my lesson from that the next morning. I'm going to take off my thinking hat.
Here we go.
Oh. Classic.
And I'm going to put on my conspiracy theorist hat. Which is a thinking hat for smart people who aren't sheep like you fuckers. Alright, you ready? What I'm going to do is I'm going to pose a conspiracy theory. And you guys are going to try to disprove the conspiracy theory in real time. And I'm going to counter your argument.
Oh God.
Alright, Maynard and Laura,
All
you
right.
ready?
All right. I'm ready.
Alright, here's my conspiracy theory. Inside of every refrigerator in this country is a small, nefarious group of individuals known as Chili Willies. And every time you open the door to your refrigerator, that little man turns the light on. And when you close the door, he turns the light off. And that is my belief. Discuss.
You want me to disprove that?
Disprove it, please.
Chili Willy was a fictional character from a 1950s cartoon.
You simple sheep. That's what they want you to believe.
Oh, did they name it after the kid? Oh, yeah. Oh,
No! No,
he
Chili
was a
Willy came
penguin.
about
He was a penguin.
after they found this small race of people and put them in our refrigerators. The reason they did that is because I wanted to normalize that behavior. So if you happen to discover a little man in your refrigerator, you wouldn't lose your fucking minds.
But Chili Willy was a
So
penguin.
how do you
man.
explain if there's a power outage and you open the fridge and the light does not go on?
It's a good-
Obviously, power does not kill the guy. Was it Chili Willy? It can't kill him. So if the power goes out, you should still be turning the fucking light on, right? Not
That's what-
possible.
That's what they want you to think. Instead, Chili Willy lights a match. See, the thing is, when the power goes out,
Yeah, but there's clearly a
hold
light
on,
bulb.
hold on. When
I
the power
can't.
goes out, your lights don't turn on. Just because there's a man living in your fridge doesn't mean he can turn the lights on when there's no power, you crazy person.
Yeah, but if you open the fridge when the power's out, the light doesn't go on. So.
Yeah, because the light still relies on electricity. He's not fucking magic. He's just a very small person
But you just
who
said
lives
he-
in your refrigerator.
You just said he was lighting a match, though.
Don't
There wouldn't-
question my beliefs.
There wouldn't be enough oxygen for him to breathe or light a match
Yeah.
He's so
within a closed
small.
refrigerator.
He's so small. He survives on the oxygen
Is-
every time you open the door.
Is he bigger or smaller than the match?
He is the same size as the match.
Well, what if he lights the match once, then how does he get another match?
The match is a red herring. Next question.
There's also like a button on the side. Why do I have to change the light bulb in my fridge if there's a little man that does it for me?
Because he doesn't want to be discovered. Duh.
How does he know what light bulbs to get at Home Depot?
He doesn't. You do. You replace the light bulb. All he does is turn it on.
What if I take the light bulb off and the light's still on?
No, because there's no light bulb. He's
Then
not
would he
magic.
die?
He just happens to be a little man who lives in your fridge.
So you're saying that
So what I'm saying is there's a little man in your fridge.
Mhm.
And every time you open the door, he turns the light on.
So what if I don't want the light on? If I just take the light bulb out and I throw it away, does that little man leave my fridge, or is he still in there just hanging out?
He leaves your fridge and goes to another more deserving family that appreciates his efforts.
Okay, so now that I know that he's gone, if I buy a light bulb 3 weeks later, does he come back?
And of course he does.
What about all the mini fridges?
He
in the
tracks your
world?
movements for at least 6 years.
How does he do that?
What about all the mini fridges in the world with no lights in them?
What about all the mini fridges that do have lights in them?
But who's taking care of the fridges that don't have lights in them?
No one. That's weird.
Then why would he just be so selective and put lights on in fridges?
Because it's a large fridge.
Have you ever seen the button on the
Those
side of the door that
prejudice,
turns the
okay.
light on and off?
That button is just put there to make you think there's no little man living in your fridge.
Is the little man cold-blooded or warm-blooded?
He's a human being, so he's warm-blooded.
How does he survive in the cold?
How do Eskimos live? Answer that,
Oh,
smart
so
guy.
he's the one who's drinking all my beer and not
There you
me.
go. Yeah,
Oh.
and me a little bit.
How does he
Okay.
eat food? What food does he eat?
I feel better.
He eats the food that's in the fridge, obviously.
But if I put food in the fridge and go on vacation and I come back, none of the food has been eaten.
That's what he wants you to think.
So how is he living?
He eats the food and then makes it look like he didn't eat it. Obviously. It's called leftovers, bro.
Does he have an ex-girlfriend that fucks horses?
She would be destroyed by a horse because she's the same size as him. But that's a good question.
Oh. Interesting.
Damn it, Boomer on YouTube says, is that who keeps knocking shit over, making a mess in there? Little man needs to grab a sponge and give it a swipe every now and then.
Or,
I agree.
Or, damn it, Boomer, you have been consuming far too much alcohol and don't remember what happened the night before. Little man in the fridge is very neat.
If there's gonna be a little man in the fridge, I do think he needs to clean it.
Yeah.
I think. He should.
Um,
No, you
I
know
think-
what?
I think
If you're just
him
putting the
turning the
light
light
on,
on for you
that's-
every time you open the door is enough. Thank you very much.
Wow, how much are you eating that? That's a lot. That's enough. I mean, how much are you open? Like, we open the fridge maybe 10 times a day. With
That's 10 times that
Wow.
a small
If-
Is it magic?
humanoid creature.
Does he twist the light bulb how is he doing it?
He has a separate switch. There's a separate switch.
There's
in
a
the
separate
fridge.
switch.
Mhm.
Okay, so how do human beings know how to manufacturers of fridges? How do they know where to put the switch so that he can manipulate the switch?
They're in on it. This
so they're in on it.
conspiracy goes all the way to the
All
top.
the way up. Okay.
If I get rid of my fridge and get a new fridge, is it the same little man that's in there, or is it a new one? And where does the little man go from the old fridge?
You know, that I will contend that is one thing we don't know for sure. But my guess would be that the little man in the fridge does stick around because he already knows your habits.
Are you positive he's a man or is he a woman?
It's always a man.
Why?
Why? Excuse me?
Because the women in the fridge are the ones that turn on, the women folk are the ones that turn on the light in your microwave, obviously.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
It's an octopus.
This hurts.
It's got
so
tentacles
much
everywhere.
in so many different places. This
Okay,
hurts.
I'm gonna stop.
That
Please
was
take that hat off.
Oh my gosh.
But
Take the hat off.
but do you guys get it?
No, I get it.
Do you
There's
totally
no-
I
see
understand.
There's no
how
arguing.
impossible it is
Yeah.
It's
to destroy
impossible.
conspiracy theory?
and
It's impossible.
exhausting.
And you actually
It's
had me for a
exhausting.
second, and then I was like, nope. You plebes, you sheep.
He's in the microwave.
Oh God, it's hot under here. No wonder people use that to cook with. My head feels like a big potato. All right, so that was a lot of fun. It's actually a game I like to play on Twitter sometimes. I did it a little while ago. I forget exactly what the premise was, but I made people try and disprove something, and then I just made up nonsense. And that's how conspiracy theories
I
work.
would
So
get
that was a lot of
stuff in
fun.
my eye like on the show.
New
Just a
conspiracy
sit there.
theory.
Every single eye.
Maynard's glasses do in fact have glass in them, but he has discovered a way to make that glass move when he puts his finger in it.
Don't give
It's
away
movable
my
glass. It's a conspiracy theory.
So that thought experiment, I heard about it on a podcast, and it was a total throwaway line, but I was like, I'm gonna run with this for a little bit and see how far I can take it.
It's interesting because it just proves to you how hard these people who believe in these conspiracy theories fight for.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you look at
They don't want to be wrong.
Yeah,
They don't want to be wrong, and it's just like
I said,
when
we
you
could
come
get
from
into a whole
place-
episode as to why they last so long. But yeah, that's exactly it. It's just people don't want to be wrong. People want to be special. They want to be able to say to themselves, hey, I know something you don't know, and I'm smarter than everyone else in America.
tiring.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It's kind of, oh, I like this. This is good. It's a good hat.
It's a good look for me.
Nah, I can hear it. You can hear, when,
It's
you
a
can,
little-
when you can hear your hat, that's a problem.
All right, are we ready for dick news?
Who's
Really?
not,
Oh, I'm so excited.
who is not ready for dick
I'm
news?
always ready.
All right, this might be my favorite headline I've read so far. Rapper charged with chopping off British teacher's penis to make YouTube video.
Wait, who did?
A rapper.
A rapper. Oh.
A Spanish rapper has gone viral.
Like a Spanish from Spain, like a Spain.
A Spaniard or?
You know what? My
Spaniard?
brain has been so conditioned that I thought it was viral. It's actually trial. A Spanish rapper has gone on trial accused of cutting off a British teacher's penis with a 12-inch kitchen knife for, oh my God, this is ridiculous, 173 pounds, 200 euros. The
That's
co-
it?
He made 200 euros.
So what's that like?
200 euros to
150
cut a
bucks?
man's dick off.
It's like
Or the other way?
$250, $300.
Yeah. I don't know the conversion.
Yeah, I would say probably like 250, maybe 300. Not 300. That's a little high. I would say 250 at the most. So,
That's no, bad deal.
he allegedly made an agreement with an Oxford University graduate who agreed to pay the accused a fee depending on how many times the amputation video was shared on social media.
Wow.
He became a cuck for clout.
Yikes!
Oh my god.
How many euros was it again?
It only came out to 200 euros a video. Nobody watched it. Oh, that's
226 American dollars.
The maximum would have been 2,500 euros. That was the max he would have been paid for cutting off a human penis off another man.
God. What are you doing?
So does it say if you got it reattached?
Let me check.
You do the bobbit.
The penis was successfully reattached.
Oh, thank God.
OG.
And it is understood to be functioning properly, but apparently we don't know for sure.
So every time you dated a girl or a guy in the future, be like, it was really only worth $225.
Detachable penis.
Wow. That was a great song.
That is
King Missile.
It was a phenomenal song. Okay, 37-year-old virgin gets a 6-foot nylon string lodged in his penis after inserting it for sexual gratification. This is a thing that I think we really need to investigate a little bit further on this show. This is what, the 4th or 5th fucking episode we've talked about somebody jamming something in their dick hole?
Yeah.
Just stop it, people.
Yeah,
Exit only.
What is happening in there that feels so good when you jam? I had a catheter once. I did not enjoy it.
There's nothing. They could It's exit only.
So it's a string, a nylon string? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I got a picture, man, and you want to
God,
I don't
a
want
picture.
no.
Jeez,
There's an
fucking
X-ray.
I'm like
pictures.
closing my like.
Oh, there's an X-ray. Oh.
Jesus.
Oh.
Let me see.
I'm not okay with that.
Let me see. What is wrong with men? That looks like abstract art to me. I mean, that looks like.
How much time do you have? Because there's a lot.
Yeah, what is wrong with men? That's all like squiggly in there.
Yeah.
Just picture like a ball of yarn on an X-ray. That's really all you get. Seriously, it's all you, that's exactly what it looks like.
The 37-year-old in question, per the RCR, published a case report. He was admitted to the emergency room of a hospital in that place, unpronounceable name, with the initial complaint of lower abdominal pain. The patient in question,
I wonder what.
who was later determined to have no history of sexual intercourse, had inserted a nylon string into his urethra while fully erect and watching pornography. According to the ensuing report, this is from Complex, by the way. I want to make sure I give them credit for this crack detective work.
Thanks for nothing, Complex.
The patient initially proved complicated due to an alleged combination of embarrassment and a history of speech difficulties. Oh, this poor guy.
That's not going to make your speech any better.
Yeah.
Sounds like it might have.
There was a catheter-centered remedy.
I mean, the dude clearly had problems.
Which failed. Subsequent evacuation procedure using forceps. Oh! Oh boy, that's giving birth.
It's like, you know, when you go to see a magician and like they pull the scarf out of the sleeve.
It's just like, look, this
It's
is
like, here it is.
I keep thinking of the Sweater Song by Weezer.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
If you want.
Pull my thread as I walk away. As I walk away.
Oh my God.
Watch
You know
me unravel.
You know what though? He could make a good amount of money.
Naked.
He could make a good.
Lying on the floor.
Lying on the floor. I've come undone.
Yeah, that's a perfect song there.
Or in his case, he's covered in cum because he was using it for sexual gratification.
Mago says, "Wow, string theory."
Holy
That's
shit!
Great.
Oh.
This is
Margo,
why-
you win the internet tonight.
Podcast
This is why we
over.
love all 4 of you.
Podcast
listening
over.
right now.
I love you. I love you. Okay, next one. Oh, this is amazing. I'm sorry.
Wait,
I'm
I read the
sorry.
first 2 words on that. Please just keep going.
I'm sorry, everyone. You know, if you're a man and you have a penis and you're uncomfortable with bad things happening to penises, maybe you skip this one, put us on mute. This is... Oh no, it's going to be more than
I'm
that.
not even there yet.
Penis rots after cobra bites man while on the toilet in South Africa.
Oh.
I'm never going to the bathroom in a foreign place ever.
I hesitate. Like
How many
wait.
fucking articles have we done about somebody getting bit on the
oh
penis?
yeah.
Where was this?
This is in South Africa.
I hesitated like the bathrooms in New Hampshire are trails.
Yeah, I thought that the cobras were a little bit further north, but I guess not.
No, I guess so.
47-year-old
Yeah.
Dutch man has suffered from, oh God, complex really, they're wordsmiths over there. 47-year-old Dutch man has suffered from a rotting penis. Is that a medical term, or you just came up with that on your own? After a cobra bit his genitals while he sat in the toilet during safari in South Africa. The New York Post, apparently, via urology case reports. Jesus Christ, how many fucking... As reported by this magazine, who reported it from this magazine, we are now going to report it on us. The man...
How many sources do you need on this? Dude got bit in the...
His penis and scrotum were noted to be swollen, deep purple in color,
Yeah, you
and
think
painful
so?
on hospital admission. Scrotal necrosis.
Oh no. Not necrosis, that's the worst word ever.
Terrible.
That's the best word, necrosis.
Hey Tim, I think your berries are necrotic.
Necrotic.
Among the symptoms he reported following the cobra attack, vomiting, burning sensations, and a shooting pain throughout his body stemming from his groin. Name of my sex tape.
Wow.
He got some serious damage to his kidneys as well.
Yeah,
I would
mean,
assume so.
And extensive reconstructive surgery. The man has since made a full recovery. Good for him.
Oh yeah, good for you.
Plastic surgeon performed a penile shaft debridement.
Did they grow a penis on his arm though?
I wish.
Oh, yeah, you got bit by a
That
cobra.
needs to be more common practice. I think
I
we need
wish.
to work on that.
All right. So that was Dick News.
Alright, we got about 7 minutes until it's an hour.
All right, I think we call it here.
Okay.
We call it.
Okay.
Alright.
All right, everyone. We'll get to What the Hell America the next show we do. It's been.
I mean, that
it's been
whole
an hour,
segment.
It's a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
That's quite a bit.
Tip News wasn't
That's
really,
quite a bit.
wasn't all America, but it was what the hell humanity, essentially.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a rough one.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the show. Feel free to comment on Twitter, YouTube, wherever. We love you,
And thank you to everybody that tuned in live. Like
You're welcome.
all you people.
and
on,
we're sorry.
Yeah, on YouTube.
And thank you for tuning in live.
Yeah, no.
Make your friends watch this at home. If anyone you know is afraid of a dead dick, make them watch it.
We appreciate you. Wave at the
Love
camera.
you.
Wave at the camera.
Oh, camera.
I know you're listening later and you can't see the camera, but
Yeah.
yeah, we appreciate it.